Afternoon all. Before anybody asks what happened to gold, my answer is I don't know. Don't talk about R+2 PPR. You dropped this claim. That was R+2. This is later on, so don't. Suddenly came off in the last 15 minutes. No idea. Dollar suddenly shot up. Some delayed reaction. I don't know. Going swimmingly. It's up to about 2.38 at one stage, nearly 2.40. Suddenly came off. Go figure. Nothing, Paul. Fine. Yeah, so you probably all the hell happened to gold. No idea. Jobless claims the PPR was 2, but came off the last 15 or so minutes. No idea why.
Yeah, no, the Americans, it all depends if they get up out of bed on the right side or the left side. Nobody knows what's in their bloody heads is going on.
That's probably the best and most sound advice I've had in a long time. I think, quite frankly, you're spot on with that.
As soon as I replace the president, maybe there will be more stability. Because right now, what a joke.
It is a joke. It's a complete joke. So let's reply to WhatsApp quickly. Well, yeah, as I say, it's got to be a lot of pundits reckon, obviously not his supporters, but he's one of the weakest presidents we've had. It's basically, he's just basically, I hate to say, it's a bit of a pawn to the puppet masters of the big tech money it put in there. Can't see it. Big banks reckon get to $21 by the end of the year for the rand. 21, yeah. 21 rand to the dollar, I mean. Look at that. 19.23. So I'm going to give you a bit of sound financial advice here. Cancel your trip to the United States, especially New York, if you think you're going. Otherwise, you might have to take out a second mortgage.
Yeah, no, it's really it's laughable, but
it's terrifyingly
laughing with pain in the bank or in the small pocket with this.
No, it's absolutely totally a pain in the backside. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, going on, just mention about the Dow, Paul. Yeah. Now, I want to mention that with 400 pips in profit, for that perspective, a couple of you might have had a couple of knocks and a couple of lost trades the last week or two. But if you top them all up, it might have actually, this one 400 pip move might have put that right. Remember, you can't add them around, you've got to add in pips and not what net pips profit. And I think that would completely change the balance sheet very pleasant in your favor. At the 400 pip profit. What is a TP? It might have been TP'd actually. I moved my TP, to be honest. 33,000, you know. Yeah, 33,000. So that's 400 pips in profit. So that hopefully put in perspective when you get a good run, you run with it, not take the profits too quick, rather modify your stop loss. If you, I suppose you can always pat your position. You have to close it entirely, and then and run with it. That 400 pips, just bear that in mind, put in perspective. She lost a 50 pip in the last one, 80 pips in the other one. Two of them, you're fed up with it. I'm fed up. We're all fed up with it. This made it more than made up for it. So that's good. Well done. Yeah, the straddle trade. Yeah. And yeah, now you're aware of how to do the mechanics of the straddle trade, Marnie and company. Yeah, you can do it if you like. You got a PPI out today. We had the interest rate out today. So you can pick them, etc. You might as well run it just to see how important it is first. But yeah, you can do that. And I'll still have the 2 sessions a month, but if you want to do a couple on the side, that's your choice. But yeah, so that was quite pleasant. So gold was doing, I don't know, I have no idea what happened there. Gold was an absolute beaut. When I'm on the daily, go back to the 15-minute now, doing just fine. Yeah, up to 204 on 204.1 in fact. What happened there at this particular time? What's this time here now? 45. It's not exactly 3:30 opening. What happened at 15:45? I haven't the slightest clue. The dollar suddenly strengthened. Maybe something out there, some news or something I'm aware of, or I don't know, no idea. But don't point out PPI, please. Don't point out jobless claims. They came out at 2:30. Didn't come out at 4:45. So I suddenly looked at it because I went and a couple of things and came back to check how the gold's doing. Is it getting you in the TP? Because it was over 40 at one stage. And I suddenly thought, what the hell's it doing down there? And I thought the first thing guys coming on will say, what's it not happened there? My answer, I'm sorry, guys, I don't know. I really don't know that. But anyway, that being as it may, I think I might hit the stop actually now. No, 2005. It flirted with it. It might, I don't know what that was about. It might get a run back up again. But that's just love of the gods. I don't know what happened there. But the Dow's pretty good. Some guys think the NASDAQ, and that's looking okay. Let's hope we get a bit more out of it. I'm just going to take out 13.3 and get a little bit lower. We shall see. Yeah, CHF JPY, I just pushed out to the QT group, the VIP group, nobody else. Hope it comes right, because it penalizes you for being a member if it doesn't. But just send out the VIP guys on the group. 150 entry or better. Remember you see 150, I should have put or better. Some guys put in buy stops if it's a lower price. Don't do that. Rather get a better price. So if you're aware of that, you got it down to 149.85 or something. You're aware of it, saw the signal, and you got it. You might have got a better price. But anyway, 150 was the idea. And let's see. We've been talking about it to pull back to that and see if we can get another run up on this one. We missed it last time. Let's see if we can get it this time. GDP of the pound at 2 a.m. Right? Very good straddle trade. At 2 a.m.
Yeah, mate. You say we can buy CHF JPY?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. If you're not in the QT VIP group, and you're on the trader and cleared, it's going to be automatically a member. Yeah, I'll put the figures up for you.
Thanks, mate.
Because 150 actually the trade was. It's a bit above that. You can take it if you're happy with it. With a 1.89, I suppose you can still take it. If you want to take it. 150 was the trade or better. Some guys got a bit better, but it's not that far away. It gets to 150.20, I wouldn't be chasing it there. Hello, I should ask about WDI. I don't know. I just really don't know what's happening here. Maybe a buy. I think at a better price. It was about 71.50, and sorry, they're not this off. 71.50, and I thought we'll maybe get a better price. The reason is we can take it up there, but I'd rather take it there. If we can get it from here, if we come back, maybe that's pushing it. Actually, to be fair, it's a bit of a low here. We can get maybe, what do you reckon, 71? What's the stop loss down here? I think it's likely wider, maybe $3. What can we take it to? That's 4, 5. maybe take it there with a $3 stop. What's the $3 stop? Where are they going to take you to? Yeah, $3 stop, and that should squeeze it. You can maybe take it there if you want, or even then, that's your choice. But I'm not getting cute with it at the moment. But we might, if we get to 71, might get a better one. So put it in, let's have a look, see what you think of it. If it, make sure it bounces 71, you know what I mean? If it goes through it, we get a better price. Hang on, it might get a better price. Pending 70. And then we get us $3. The math is not too difficult there. 67. And what's this price here? 75.25. 75.2. If you want a higher TP, that's your choice. You want 25. Yeah, I get a risk to reward there. 50, call it 60 around a micro. You might get a better price as we speak. It's coming off a bit. Better price than 71, I mean. Mineo Smith. Good morning. I mean, Quemura Mineo Smith. Sorry, I have to say that because Smith is not exactly very, yeah. Okay, all right. So yeah, Dow Jones, it should still be in it in theory. I mean, it's one. What's stop loss is 33,000. So you know, move your stop loss down by all means. Move your modified stop loss down to protect and put it into profit, whatever happens. But again, I keep saying, don't take profit too quick. 50 might hold, but we've got a slightly better. Get this thing out of the way. Got a slightly better TP than that. So modify your stop like I've got. I'll show you mine. Try and show you mine. Where's mine? Why can't I see mine? I'm on the wrong one. That's why. I think I was on this one. That's right. I was on the normal Dow. Beg your pardon. Okay. Yeah. So you see, that was my entry, the green that area there. And that's my stop loss, so obviously in a better position. And I'm just going to aim down there. I think, where's that stop loss? A bit too low there, actually. TP, I mean. Yeah, it's a bit too low, a bit higher up there. Yeah, that'll make the TP there, yeah. Yeah, so it might get there. But as I say, and it worries me, guys, that take, again, I'm telling them a million times, and I'm saying, don't take profit too quick. They're still doing it. And the problem is now they've got to win a hell of a lot to make up the one when they're stopped out. This is 400. This should put you in net profit big time. Can. Okay, so there we are.
Yeah, but Roger, you see, for example, on the gold, I increased my stop loss to 2015 from 2005, and I got knocked. So
Yeah,
that's a big loss for me.
yeah, I know, but I mean,
And I mean, the bottom line, it was already $15 in below the current price at that point in time.
I get that. That's something, you know, when you got in at 220 odd. When he got at about 235, I moved the stop up to maybe break even, and you've been stopped out and not making money. I get that. I get that completely. But what I tell you what I normally do. Some reduce a bit, but not very often. I normally leave the stop loss where it is until I get a decent enough movement to profit. Then I just whisk it up to break even. You can, I suppose, reduce it a bit, but that's what I personally normally do. And so that sort of when it went up to a 335 plus, I whopped it up to a break even, and then it went up a bit further, and I've stuck it up another 5. So I got a little bit out of ahead of it. Didn't make a lot, but get out. But I went back. I was doing something else and went back. It was literally only a few minutes away from it. And then I was looking at some other trade or whatever. And I thought, I'll just check gold. And then I expect it might be near the TP. And suddenly it was down. What is going on? I checked again the economic calendar. And what the hell's going on here? But yeah, so what can I say? How long? Yeah. If you like it. I'm just, before I do that again, just wondering about what's happening at 2 o'clock in the morning. just going to check that for tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what the hell's UK doing at 2 o'clock in the morning. What the hell happened there now? Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Bear with me a second. You see these adverts all over the bloody place, and they're tempted to go in there now. What have I done? And they draw you in, because now Google gets paid, and there's no use to them. I'm not going to do that tomorrow. Just sorry, tomorrow. I don't have any 2 o'clock in the morning. I've got nothing on the pound at 2 o'clock, so I'm not quite sure what that meant. Go back to yesterday. Okay, yeah, WTI. What's Brent doing? Maybe look at Brent instead. Similar. We'll do WTI anyway. Coming out there. Yeah, I'm looking at 71 as an entry, but make sure it goes back up again. I'll put it up again for you to have a look at it. It's already there, so that's fine. That's a pending order. It's not if you're going at market. Did you get the Dow, by the way, Farney? Did you take the Dow?
Yes, I did, and I left my stop loss where it is because I was. I don't want to be caught with my pants on my knees again, and I've changed it now. But this is not part of my strategy, and I don't like to change so often. So I'm not too sure. But you need to, or I need to adapt. Otherwise, I will not make it. It seems.
Yeah, you need to adapt, but I'm sort of half agreeing on that. It's like changing your golf swing every time you miss the fairway. Then you know you got to. I hear what you're saying on that. I suppose you have to adapt and tweak it a bit. But I just, there's no one's right. It's just an opinion. What I say normally do is I have done. I'm not saying it's wrong to modify. So now instead of losing 10, you might lose 5 or whatever. But I tend to sort of wait to get maybe 40 pips, some of that. Depends, not the NAS I'm talking about. Generally about 40 pips on the currencies, and then normally I'll whip it up there to break even. And if it goes up 50, 60, I might put it up maybe 30 to maybe 40, 30, depending on the volatility or whatever, behind that sort of thing. And as I said, I did that with gold. I just bunged it up to break even. It went up a little bit further, and I bunged up another $5. And then next time I looked, was stopped out, at least on a profit. But I was hoping for TP. I'd rather chuff. One young lady went to first trade today. I helped her, gave her, etc. Helped her the first trade, held a sort of virtual hand, and she was up a fantastic percentage-wise because it wasn't a very big account. And then next I looked, and of course it's a different story. So just hope it recovers, because she's probably on all the hell's going. She's going to ask me what happened there, and I'm going to say everything. Anyway, she didn't about modify. She's basically just starting. So I'm assuming then she just let it run and see what happens. Okay. Anyway, we've got a new one who just joined us now. If she's still there. No, maybe she's left. Oh, Gina. Hi, Gina. Yeah, welcome. I think it's your first time here. Great stuff you joined us. Here it's a trading room. We discuss various trade ideas, etc. As you probably noticed, I put on the quick trade app. We're only doing morning shows from Monday. We're not doing any more afternoon. Okay, it's come down from above. The attendance in the afternoon is not high enough to take my time up, to be honest. They reckon I could be, my time could be better used elsewhere in the afternoon, to be honest with you. So there's only going to be, at this stage of the game, 9:30 till 11 o'clock. In the mornings, no more afternoon ones. Just so that's going on from Monday. Okay, so tomorrow is the trading as per normal on Friday, and then I'm taking a week off. I'll be back on the following Monday, but only morning session until, well, I think it's until the 31st, but it might be the 3rd of notice. Okay. Because I mean, we got it on now. There's only 15 people apart from myself in here, and it's my time is an hour and a half. They reckon it should, you know, because they're paying me, to be honest, it could be better used elsewhere. So sorry about that, but that's the way it is, and that decision come on from high. Okay, we don't get in now, by the way. Ignore this because clearly it hasn't bounced. Okay, so don't put a pending order in like that. Like I mentioned, it's just an idea to have a little risk reward. Obviously, it's still falling, so you don't want to be jumping in until we get a confirmation. Okay, it might come back to 70.
Roger, so to be hands-on on the CFDs, how are we going to do that in the future?
I suppose you have to WhatsApp in the normal way, I suppose. I mean, you will get trades sent out to CFD, do that obviously in the normal way. Yeah, I suppose just have to a quick check on the WhatsApp. It's basic, it's about ratings. You know, if we got maybe 100 people or more coming in and they're all funded accounts, the volumes are not, I'm going to be absolutely, it always comes down to money, a business. It's not worth it. And the people who do a trade usually have very small accounts. What the business from it is just not justifying my time. I'm going to be honest about it. So, and I take that point. You know, as I say, at the moment, there's a couple joined now. There's about 14 people in there, and a lot of them, you know, not always got. Well, some have. I know that for a fact. But it just felt that you got the WhatsApp. I'm going to do other stuff, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be spending more time on clients with Buxton in and trying to help them along a little bit as well. But all the others, yourself, all included, Ken, or whatever, can obviously WhatsApp. What do you think of f-stop or I don't know, whatever you do want to look at? That's the situation anyway. It's about rating.
Thanks. I think the basis is basically with the uncertainty of the markets, etc., etc. This is now the lowest attendance in the last, well, since January in the afternoons, unfortunately. But I mean, the market is dictating this.
Well, I think load shedding is a big part of it. But yeah, it is. I mean, I'm normally had about 50 to 70 in the mornings and a good 40 odd in the afternoon, sometimes 50. But it's down. But to be honest, I think a lot of it's more to do with load shedding. The problems I keep saying to guys out there, if you're going to trade, you need knowledge, you need the right tools, and of course you need the balance. And a lot of guys with very small amounts of money can't afford backup systems for load shedding, just can't afford it. I mean, the same mine lasted over 10 hours. We had that big problem in where I live at the moment yesterday, but my inverter is quite expensive, so you know I've protected. But a lot of guys just haven't got that cash to lay out. If they had, they wouldn't have such tiny accounts, and that load shedding really does affect them. But again, the market sideways and the rest of it as well. But it's still the situation where there is a large amount of clients out there who are trading with not really knowing, and they've got the free trading room and they won't make use of it. So, you know, if you offer it and it's not made use of, I've discussed maybe charging for it. That might bolster them, you know what I mean? People don't value something that's free. I don't know, just maybe there's psychology there, whatever. But yeah, I hear you, etc. I mean, not a day goes by, they say, why was my position closed? It didn't hit my stop loss. And they're trading peanuts, literally bloody a hamburger. And clearly they have no free margin, a margin call. And, you know, sometimes I'm not even getting that when I explain to them, how on earth can you be in a complex derivatives market with knowing sort of not what, it's like becoming a car mechanic and don't know what a steering wheel is. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, I think I'm going to be spending more time on the basically heavy hitters, to be honest. Because you know, I've done all the exams to explain to a person you can't put a trade, you haven't got any money. It's a bit like calling an electrician in to change the light bulb. You know?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I know, it's quite staggering. I mean, apparently over 50% don't even turn the first page of the product they bought, the educational package. So, yeah. So that's their choice, but you know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, I'll be there in the mornings. You got my details, finally. You're on my WhatsApp group. You can, just WhatsApp me, Ken, whatever. Yeah, you've got my details and then etc. But I'm going to be basically spending much more time with people who've got all the guys here. Also, keep contacting me with guys who've got sort of a more heavily funded account. Spend more time with them, which makes sense. A guy with 100,000, it's like having 100 guys with 1,000. It's just common business sense, isn't it? Not being sort of giving any state secrets away here. Basic common sense,
No, it's true. It seems to me that all the tech shares is busy strengthening. So
Yeah.
the NAS is not going down as good as the Dow.
Yeah, it's very strange. So it hadn't done that very often. They usually go in tandem. Because remember, the tech stocks are part of the Dow as well. And the biggest company in the world is Apple. So it's obviously part of the NAS, but clearly it's part of the Dow as well. So is Google, so is Meta. Facebook Meta, by the way, it's called Meta. Google, Amazon, whatever, Tesla. So yeah, so it's a little bit surprising. I mean, I'm glad the Dow's coming off nicely, but I thought, I'm in both of them, by the way, and I thought that would follow. Am I in profit? I'm not sure. Just give me a second. I'm on the wrong one, sorry. That's the micro, guys. Don't try and trade the NAS if you've got very small accounts, unless you're doing the micro, for goodness sake. One lady couldn't understand why she couldn't get into the Dow signal today. And I couldn't understand it until I suddenly realized, she had enough 3 months, suddenly realized, of course, she didn't know about the micro. It says micro on it, but she didn't realize. Fair enough, it started. So I explained, you can't go the normal Dow, you don't have enough money to go to the micro. But yeah, so look. I got in there, so I'm definitely in problem. Where's my stop loss? Well, I saw it on the 15-minute ticket. Oh, there it is. I'll adjust it just now. I'm going to leave it for the moment, but at least I'm in a bit of a profit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so no, that is it. Hopping around, but it's surprising. Is the Dow still coming off? Am I going to bounce the 50-day moving average? Just want to point a couple of things out to a couple of new faces, Gina included here. Give me a second, let's check that first. Where's the Dow? Can't see it. Oh, here we are. Yeah, it's having a little pop at the 50-day. Okay, right, guys, just a few seconds. I want to explain. If you think someone to join. Oh no, haven't got your membership fees, can't. I'm just joking. Okay, yeah. If you haven't got the 50-day, that's the blue line there, or the brown line's a 200-day simple moving average. Very, 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 very strongly suggest you put it in. They act as filters and areas support and resistance. And as you can see, we've had a bit of a bounce on the Dow there, and that's why I brought my stop loss in case it didn't get further down. So I don't want to be stopped out in a loss, clearly. So that's why I put it in again for you. Oh, I'm on the wrong one, sorry. There we are. See, that was my entry. I brought my stop loss. The last thing I want to do is obviously see all my lovely profits float away. But I was hoping it's going to come down there, but this seems to be holding. So what I'm saying is have the blue, it's a 50-day simple moving average, the brown 200, very important, put it on your chart. I like the 100-day, it's not as important, but still got a use to it. And the 10-day moving average is that magenta line there. If you like all four, put them on. When you've done that, go to right click there, go to templates, and then save the template. So what happens then is you put your name in there, Gina, for example, just joined us now, and then save it. So if you do lose your chance of a problem, just go to templates, and there's my saved charts. Pick one you like, and it opens back up again. Okay, so just so you're aware of that. Okay, I don't like staying all the time, that's why I have it down here. But because it does play with your head. But yeah, the NAS normally go the same with the Dow, like I mentioned, surprising. But I'm still fairly, negative on it. So hopefully we'll get a bit more of a pullback. So we shall see as it not pull back. I mean, a pull down. Continue a bit of more downside momentum. We shall see. Okay, right. Again, I'm going to do what I do every session. Is just copy and paste economic calendar for you. If you don't have it, it is very, where's it gone now? So there we are. Yeah, I put that on there. That's economic calendar. Please save it. You need to know what's happening on the economic field and in the calendar field. And I'm going to put the DXY, which is the dollar index, also very important. So I'll put that on for you as well. I think everyone's got my number. So if you don't, I'll copy that on. But please, only if you've got a funded account. That's the normal. Because it takes an enormous amount of time, and which, you know, it's costing people sort of trying to explain to them something over half an hour or whatever when they haven't got a funded account. It's obviously not helping them, certainly not helping us. So if you've got a funded account, I don't mean $100 in a funded account. Yeah, you can contact me, but you all got my number anyway, so that's fine. Okay, right, where were we? So just that bonds on. Elsa mentioned, yeah, just to go over a couple of things for that moment. Specifications, right? Left click on the instrument of choice, highlight it, then you right click, then you left click, and there gives you the details of the properties of that specific instrument. Okay, the margin, contract size, the spread, whatever, it's all there. Okay, that's it. Don't forget, if you position size calculator is a must for everything except shares. You do shares, you need to go to your learning management system of the Stock Market College, and there is the calculator for shares, CFDs, okay, separate, and it opens up as 3 and closes up as 10, but the position size calculator for indices, commodities, and foreign exchange. And have it. If you don't have it, you have to have it, basically. You can't go to the shop without having a budget. You've got to work your volume out and correctly position. And that you get it from the live chat on the website, and go to tech support and they'll load onto your computer for you. As I say, the biggest killer in this business is basically incorrect volumes. Normally, sometimes too small and make the money you want, but often it's just overexposed, and if it goes wrong, it hurts. It should be, you should only be risking what you can afford to lose. Horrible word, but you've got to face up to it. If you go over that, you're going to be you're not thinking with your head, you're thinking with your emotion. Okay, and I see what you say, okay. A lot of people are a bit tired because it has been, you know, it's been tough, the market lately, because with basic lack of direction. And as I say, some of the interesting economic policies, leave it at that, not getting too much into politics, out there that are occurring in the States and other places. So, yeah, and so it's trying to get some direction going, but we'll make through. Yeah, hopefully we'll make up for a bit of lost time on that.
Roger?
Yeah.
Sorry, I see also your time on your watch list have frozen, mine as well. So it seems there's a problem with
Oh no.
You can see there it's 16:27.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else going on.
I'm looking at the chart and I was looking at any comments there I can respond to. Oh no. Hang on.
Back again.
I'm just about to go and contact Jack. Thank goodness for that. Yo. Okay, we should be back on. That's good. All right. There's a question being asked there. Just a second. Live chat. Are we still meeting for the afternoon training? Oh, absolutely right. That'll be the 2 till 3 for the NFP and the CPI. Absolutely. Gina, once a month, first Friday every month is a non-farm payroll data release. That's a jobs report. And usually the Wednesday after is the consumer price index in the US CPI basically. And they are powerful moves of the market. So I normally do a 2 to 3 o'clock. And I show people how we do what's called a straddle trade. And if you join at 2 o'clock, you'll be given notice. You're on my VIP WhatsApp group. And it's the same trading room ID. And then I start at 2, just to explain those who are not aware of the mechanics, then they place the buy stop, sell stop orders. It's called a straddle trade. And then we run with that. And that's why Zuzu was asking about it, because we've had quite a decent success doing that. So the next one out will be the first Friday in May. You'll be notified, but if you can make it, it's quite important to join us, and you can make a quick buck on the release of those figures, 2:30 in each occasion. So just be aware of it, and so you know what's going on. And okay, so I think that's all updated. I hope that I just covered those basics for you. It's an ongoing process, as you know. We can correct things we can correct, but what the market does is obviously out of our control. The market will do what the market does. And so don't send me a WhatsApp of what do you call it? When you not a spread, what do you call it? Screenshot. Don't send me a screenshot if it trades in the red. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry, I'll sympathize. You got my fullest sympathy on that, but I can't flick a magic wand change into blue. The market will do. Remember, there's millions and millions of people trading it, and the market will do what the market does. And they found it sometimes, I'm going to be honest, go figure. We had our debacle last week of the euro. Remember that? Well, of course, you remember it a week ago. And all the factors on the data release and the stronger euro, and it went the opposite way. And I just don't know. I'm flabbergasted, flounced, etc. And so sometimes it is very strange. We mentioned now Dow, I'm glad we're coming off. The NAS went up a little bit. Now, normally, not in tangent, far from the separate indices, but it hadn't, not very often. I've seen it maybe once, maybe twice before, but it's a little bit surprising. Normally, maybe at different speeds, but normally, if you go south, they usually both do. But several things. So the NAS, in theory, should start to maybe follow it. Hope so, anyway. So I'm short on both. And you know, so are you, Gina, as you mentioned. So hopefully it starts coming. Don't forget, you can modify your stop loss to explain that. So let's say you buy at 10, you're aiming at 20, and your stop loss is, let's say, 5. You don't want to leave it at 5. If it gets to 19, then comes off like gold did today for whatever reason. Market can be a strange place to be in. You don't want to turn that win to a loser, so you can modify your stop to protect. And that's why I mentioned the Dow, modified it now. So the Dow trade goes wrong, I'll still get stopped out in the profit. So when a guy says stopped out, it's not necessarily bad news. It can be bad news if you stopped out, obviously, but apart from that, if you only made £1 on it and then it bounces back up, and that's a bit annoying, but at least you didn't lose on it. And that's the general idea behind it. So just to explain again, most you know, and Gina and that might not, and a couple of you guys might not, to show you something here. Right, you don't have to close the entire position. Look at CHF at luck. Can you believe it? It's like profit. Bloody hell. I think GBP CHF start to come right as well. Look at that in a minute. You don't have to, you can modify by double clicking there, okay? And then just put in whatever stop loss to modify, and then just click on the button there, and then it's modified. Or you can cut, if I don't want to close the entire one, I go to volume, double click. And let's say I want to close half of it. So I put in 0.06, and then I click the close button, and then 6 micros are banked, leaving me with, sorry, out of the way there, leaving me with 0.06 there. So if you don't want to, if you're getting up nicely and getting a bit nervous, it's getting you your TP, but it's still doing okay. Let's say your TP is, I don't know, here. And still, and it's going up. You can modify your TP. I didn't Dow by that. The TP from a previous trade. So I modified it. My TP that is down for a better one, okay? So you're going long on this, you can modify it up, modify your stop as well, and then saying, I'm still a bit nervous. I've got maybe 1 minute, maybe, which is 10 micros, maybe close 5, let the other 5 run. If it goes a bit up, maybe modify your TP again, maybe close 2 or 3 micros, let a couple run until you eventually stopped out. I'm trying to get people out of the habit of taking the profit too quickly. As soon as they see a bit of blue, they get it very excited and want to go and close it. Now, the problem with that, if you're making 10 Rand a win and you do 10 wins, you make 100 Rand, and then you got 100 Rand stop loss, you know, the 11th trade you lose, and those 10 winners you wiped out. You want to be a situation like the Dow, your winners made 400. So you might have lost a couple of trades where you lost 50 on one and 70 on the other one, 110 pips you lost. But now you made 400 on the other one, so you know, still a healthy net profit. Get my point? So that's what you'd be looking at. The AUD still give me some strain. Let's have what it's doing on there. Still giving me jip, but I'm hanging on. I've been in there since before. A lot of people ask me that. How long will I be in there? I have no idea. I've been there since 26th of April. And what's it now? It's the 11th. And I'm knocking up. Still not bad. Some other swaps. But the point is, it's still ongoing. But at least look at this. It's a GBP CHF party. I know you're still in that. I am. Well, obviously, I want to see it. That's still become the party. What's the other one? NASDAQ, well, still it's okay. And what's the other one? That's the Dow. Oh, the Dow's nice. Look at that. The Dow's doing fine. So it's a lot prettier now. And see, I've modified the stop loss down there. That was my entry. I got in the day before you guys. So it's my slightly better entry. 235. So whatever happens, I'm going to make a couple of bucks on that. I've left my stop loss there for the time being. I wanted to take out maybe 250, maybe 200 before I start getting cute with it. But at the moment, I'm leaving that there, keep the fingers crossed on it. And yeah, so that's how, you can play around as well. Don't have to just put the order in, just wait and see if it hits a TP or not. It might not, but you can play around with it. You're in control, not the computer, basically. Hope you all getting some stuff there. Most of the guys know this, but Gina, I'm mentioning her name, welcome. She's fairly new. I just spoke to her today, so I'm pretty glad she's here. Good, ongoing process. A CHF JPY, I don't know if anybody took that trade. It was only sent to the guys on, well, of course, the guys in the trading group, clearly, and the guys on my QT WhatsApp group. And that is now, it's not flying, but at least it's in profit. Okay. So don't know if anyone took that in the group here, but at least it's in profit. Always remember, always make sure you got plenty of free margin. Time and time again, guys are saying, why am I kicked out and hitting stop loss? Because they didn't maintain free margin. Even if you got plenty of money, even if you got R1 million in there, but you don't have 950 on the bloody market and 50 grand free margin, because you've got $1 million, you're going to have big positions. You're going to get margin called. Make sure you got free margin. If you don't have free margin, that position will be closed. Good stuff, Paul. Okay, it's doing okay. That's the main. At least it's blue. Let's do the WTI. Seem to getting a bit of bounce here. Does anyone want to take it? We put the stop loss down here. Where's $3? Yeah, make $3. Make it around 68. There we are. 68. And then we can take it up. Should we take it up to there? 70, make it 76.70. 76.50, what the hell? It's not try to do it. You always modify. Don't forget, it's not set in stone. Yeah, maybe a bit out there. And even maybe put it slightly tighter. If you want a tighter, a wider stop, wider TP, again, that's your choice. This is just giving you an example, not set in stone, but it's starting to get a bit of a bounce. So anybody want to take that trade at market? You've already taken it, this one, have you? Okay. But yeah, anyone want to take this one? I need a couple of the rules. 2 or more people take it. I'll write it down as a trading room trade and see how it goes from there. So Mandler's already in. Okay. Anybody else taking it to these? I'm going to put these levels down. So if you don't get these levels, don't say, should I modify my stop? And I give you the stop, and it's different because I can only work the stop out on the levels we enter on, which will be written down if you want it. So anybody want to take that trade? I need 2 people on top of that, and I'll write it down. If not, I'll leave it. Okay, anyone going to join Yulen on it? What about you, Mandler? Marius? Ken, what about you guys? Brian? What about Dirk? Anne-Marie, what about Dirk? You can do it. Okay, fine, good enough. I'll write that down. What is it? Call it 40, okay? WTI 40, and it's 71. What's a bit better than that? Call it 35, okay? Buy. Okay, what's that? 70, call it around 68. Because you've got a slightly better price. Yeah, make it around 68 as your stop loss, and 76.70. 76.62, make it around 68. Whatever, anyway, it's not that much difference. CP, and was it 60 bucks a micro? There you are. So let's see how that goes. But if you're in Brent, same thing. Well, sort of same, similar. Oil's oil. I've never seen Brent go up and WT come down. Never, ever, ever. Talk about the Dow earlier on. I've never seen it. Yeah, well, I thought it'd be hovering between 101 and 102, and that something drastic happened. Just slightly above 102. There are a few sellers coming in. Don't forget, minimize the DXY and the economic calendar and keep it out just to check. It's something funny happens because normally big movements, you get fundamental and think, why did that happen? Check it. Oh God, I forgot about that or whatever. But when that sudden movement of the gold, I didn't know what happened. That was way after the fundamental was released. What's it doing now? Atlas is trying to recover, thank goodness. Don't help your cause, finally, but the guy didn't modify the stop loss for me. Back to around about the break-even part then. What that was about, maybe someone in the Middle East decided to dump their gold position, I don't know. Maybe some Arab potentate in Saudi decided he'll sell $1 billion worth of gold, I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so there you are. See how that goes. Try not to stare at all the bloody time. What do I should go? I forget to do it myself. What do I want to do on this? $60 a micro. Yes. So it's going to be 30 micros. We'll get through. Okay. I started to miss a trade. I'm too busy telling everyone about it. Forget to put it myself. Take profit 76.62. How do you price that? 62 anyway in the month. Oh, they make it 60 about that. Okay. Right. So as I say, what I normally do is I hide it down there because a quick way to the loony bin is to stare at the thing going up and down all the time. You will not pick bottoms or tops, guys. You know, it'll be popping up and down. Go out to pick and pay and come back. You could be nicely up and come back off again. Like I explained, the AUD, CAD, they always ask how long do we hit? Quite a natural, completely understandable question. Very correct, actually. Probably I don't know. I've been there since now about 2 weeks. It's still bloody hovering. So let's say I did okay last time in WTI. Got a nice one on that one. Maybe get another nice one. Now, it just seemed to come back to 102. I wouldn't be, not really, no. Okay, one daily, good stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm coming back a bit. I'm just going to stick to the 101, 102 sort of area at the moment until we see a big fundamental shake-up. Right, let's go quickly check CHF-JPY.
Mr. Rogers?
Go for it. Go for it.
I have managed to enter the gold at the right price, and I think it's going well for now. Had to wait for the bearish market to just go down through the support level, and then it started to pick up momentum.
Seems to have done, yeah. That was definitely a funded some big butt player out there. That's ridiculous. That maybe a government, maybe India or China dumped some gold on the market. I have no idea. Okay, right. CHF-JPY. Well, there you are, guys. So I don't know how many you took it, but if you did, great. Don't chase it now. You didn't. I don't use my expression. The ship has sailed. If you look at the stern of the ship, it goes off to Nassau and the Bahamas. They're all waving. You're standing on the dock. You missed it. Shame. And just start to rain as well. Okay, good stuff. Slightly better body language this afternoon, this morning, eh? Anything else? Yeah, the Dow and the NAS. That's right. The Dow picking up a bit. Am I still in the Dow? Might have hit the stop. Yeah, I think it's to stop. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm out the down. Pity about that. Thought we might get a bit more downside. Anyway, a nice handsome profit out of it, so I'm okay. The NAS is probably going up a little bit as well now. I do think. Don't know what it wants to do. Probably come back down again here. Say, you know, I'm wondering if I should have modified a little bit wider that stop. I still think that's going to come off. But anyway, I'm out. I made a handsome profit, a couple of K, so I'm not crying. That was in one day. I'm still not going to cry, but 4K would have been better. Okay, anyway, so be it. Let's look at something else. Look at the pound study come off as well. Jumped up a little bit on the release and that decided to come off, which in a way is good news because means the GBP coming off is good news because we're short the GBP CHF. So that actually, have a look at that. Some guys are still in this one. I know Farley should be. I think he is. Still coming off a bit. So that's quite nice, eh?
Yes. Turned around again. I'm watching it with a keen eye.
I'll start moving. How far away is that? 200, 220. That's good enough for me. I'm going to bring my stop down. Just into a bit of profit there. I'll cover with cost. So at least I won't lose on that trade. You might get a bouncing around figure. Remember, psychology is support resistance. That put it back up like that. See what's going on. Support resistance there. A lot of TPs that put it around figures. No, there's no rational reason. It's purely a psychological round figure. You might get a little bit of a bounce there on the 15-minute, yeah, but it might go through. Let's just hope it does. I've been saying all along that pound is overvalued, in my opinion. There's too many problems. Like a lot of the Western countries, their bureaucratic welfare state, much like South Africa, is just too large. I remember the old days, Thabo Mbeki. Was it Thabo? The son. Who was the father? We'll get the wrong way around. Thabo Mbeki, when he was, was new president, he actually said the government is not an employment company. It's not an employment exchange. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of places do, and the bureaucracy worldwide is unwillingly and over the top. And that's the problem with the pound, is they got this massively expensive, free this, free that, free out. It gets a lot of votes, makes a lot of people happy. But the money, unfortunately, doesn't come out of thin air. And that's it's given them quite a bit of jip. And they're borrowing, because the taxpayers haven't got enough money. And putting up taxes is a way to political suicide anyway. They often have to borrow it. And as a result, that's where you get the inflation and all the other problems. But still, yeah, see if we can break through the round figure, might get some decent downside, and then get the smile back on Farney's face. Okay, after being knocked out in the goal there, we're using a nice profit. A little bit fed up with that. There. Are you still in the Dow? I'm unfortunately I was knocked out. Maybe a stop was a bit tight after lecturing to other people, but it was still a pretty good. Nearly 400 pips, about 400 pips I made, so I'm not exactly going to cry too much. But are you still in that Dow there, Farley?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. You can, maybe not too close, but for goodness sake, make sure you don't take a loss in it. Anybody in the Dow, make sure your stop loss is better than break even, for goodness sake. Do not take a loss on a winning trade. That is cardinal error number one.
I took it now down to 33,300.
Okay, what's the Dow doing at the moment?
But maybe it's time.
It is a bit. It's only 80 pips. Remember, this is not a Forex where 80 pips is a wide stop sort of thing. 80 pips is not that big. But look at the 15-minute, the 10-hour, so the 10 times 15-minute moving average held, and a few sellers came in. So maybe you'll be all right. But I think 300 is all right. You got a 520 plus minus, couple hundred pips. That's put you in a smile on your face at the worst case scenario, and it might actually get better. So worst case, couple hundred pips or more. And the best case scenario, who knows? If it gets to 33,000, you'll be in another 500 pips. That'll be one. I hope that now starts behaving. Talking about that, nobody took the F-stop there. A bit of a pity, it's doing quite well. Just repeat that. Nobody got in there. F-stop. Remember, we had a pending order get in at 12, got to 11.99 on the bid and 12 on the ask. And I said, might as well chase it. Seems to be coming off it. Get it even at 98, might be okay. So no one took that advice. It's a pity because it could come off a bit more. Pretty willing in profit. Shepherds start to do okay. It's great. What else we're talking about there? Somebody talked about BA. I'd leave it. Some people still want to do that. It's not coming off. Don't know why, because I think people fly less. It should be. They're sending it. So yeah, that's fine. Can't see any other trades. I'm not even thinking of mentioning that Microsoft in front of Farney again. That's a bit of a bad taste in the mouth job. That, so leave that alone. Tesla's starting to move. I think Tesla's got some upside in the longer term. If you're buying normal equity, I'd say put down that part of the portfolio. I think leave for now and look at the rand. Yeah, look what's coming. I thought that was a bit over the top up to 1930. Would probably come back a bit now. Bit of profit taking, I think, more than anything else happened with Eskom. But yeah, a lot of analysts say they expect $21. The very, very big real fears going to the winter period of the cold, where we could go to higher levels. Anything but having a blackout on the grid, sort of thing. So that's the major reason why we're having nobody wants to know the rand, yeah. Okay. Okay. Any questions, guys? Yeah, it's a little bit. It's still holding, so it might get a bounce of the round figure. It's still holding, which means, in theory, quite a strong momentum. You get a decent bounce, but if you're not getting much of a bounce, obviously there's not many TPs triggered, and it might be a bit of momentum. So if you're in that, still going strong. Okay. WTI, we've just gone in. It seems to be coming right. So the guys who took WTI, obviously it's just started. Give it a chance, but at least it's going to the blue. So let's see how that works out going into tomorrow. Gold's coming up. That's not gold. Dollar's coming off a bit, so we might get some legs on gold. Keep your fingers crossed. Right, I think that's covered that. Okay, I often get accused talking too quickly and going too fast. I do beg your pardon. Anything you want me to clarify again? Lines on the chart, how do you save them? Anything like that? Any clarifications? You need a bit of a refresher on something in one of the classes in Forex. It didn't make a lot of sense. You want a bit of clarity? No problem. It's not a training class, but I can certainly clarify, yeah. Oh, God, I guess. I was having a good time if you mentioned that. Well, I don't know. But at least it's going up. Makes a pleasant change. Well, at least it's going up. But if you want to, if you enjoy the sport of snail racing, then become a natural gas or N gas trader. But at least it's trying to pop up. But it's been hovering around there since bloody March. Is it going to get some legs? Let's hope it'll get some legs. But the guys who took it, luckily, if you've got a couple of bucks in your account, you can sit on it. But took it. I mean, I've been in this thing for 6-8 weeks before. It can be slow, but if it gets going, breaks out the stable, then it might start moving. But it's, as you say, it's let the damn thing run. But it's I wouldn't start making a habit of playing with this one. I just hope it does actually break up, because most guys are long on it, obviously. A lot of people ask why I'm getting more CFDs out, because, well, look, the NAS and the Dow's been a bit sort of sideways to not quite sure job. But if we can get some momentum down, fine. JP Morgan, we'll look at a couple of banks. What's happening there? I thought we might get a bit some downside in the banks. I think that was a glitch in the system, if you remember, so ignore that. Okay, I'm hoping if we can get a bit of a breakthrough on the banks, we might as well sell them. Still a bit of worry on the banks, but we'll see. Goldman Sachs. Still not sure, actually. Looks like a sell, to be honest, but I'm not sure. Buyers are coming in. See, look at that wick. Trying to come off, the buyers are coming in, same as yesterday. Same here as well. I'll leave it alone. Guy asked me today why I didn't send more trades out. So I'll send 20 out, turns you on. Number one, you got to have the money to take it, but more to the point, I'll just send it out to thumb suck, you know. Sometimes you might half a dozen, sometimes you might a day or two with nothing at all, couldn't find one, you know. But that's another point. I get a lot of people saying, can't you send more trades? Well, even if I did, you don't have enough money account to take them. If you got small money, you can't diversify. That's one of the major reasons they try and get money into your account, so you can open 2 or 3 different positions. So if one goes sour, you can get protected by the other 2. But if you've only got, you know, small money, you can only go for one. You haven't got enough money to go anymore, and you might pick the wrong. Let's say you get 3/4 turn out, one doesn't go right. You might be unlucky to pick the wrong one, and you could least afford it because you have lack of funds in the first place. Now you really got lack of funds. After that, now you probably can't even trade. So try to remember that adage: you need, it's a business, you need capital. I'm going to reply to somebody there. Someone just asked, can I still take the gold signal? Well, if the price is at the signal, why wouldn't you? A lot of people said, why did you send out yesterday's signal again today? Somebody's done that. Sometimes we do that. Well, clearly, let's say it was a buy on GS at this price. It went up and then it came back down to this price again. We'll send it out again. You know what I mean? Because it's reversed to get in. We would send it out again if the ship had sailed. So what people do is they go and double up. They go in again. And that's the worry, because they're not thinking. I mean, if you worked out your position to risk 1,000, you're going again. Now you're risking 2,000, so you're obviously 100% overexposed. So yeah, so if it comes back, retrace the buy area, you want it, go for it. Yeah. Not that I'm unsympathetic, to be honest, because I said it does do funny things to your mind, eh? Right, what will I do this for? Let's go. Anything happening there? Trying to go up, I think. Hope so. Okay. Right, let's just check on this NAS. Anything happened to it? Shame on that.
Yeah.
Down the downside, the bounce. And that 50 held in the end. I thought it might. Bloody thing. Shows how useful they are. I thought that might happen. That's why I put the stop down. Hoped it might break through, but it didn't. What a pity. Anyway, you won't lose on that. The guys who don't come in here will probably, if it does shoot back up, well, they're unmodified or whatever. But yeah, yeah, pity. GBP, CHFJPY is doing okay. You can put that, you can put your stop into, have I done it? I think I have, to break even. And you can modify your stop to break even at 150 on CHF JPY, taking all risk out of it, if you like, and that's quite pleasant. You just gone into it. So that's quite nice. We'll do it swiftly. And hey, it's looking like it's trying to break through. Go for it, you bugger. Good. Okay, let's see if it continues. Okay, yeah. Right, that's covered most of the stuff. These are all on exchange futures, yeah. Futures goes round the clock. Spot, Macmillan, opens up at specific hours. Like CFD is a spot, so that opens up 3:30. If you trade, let's say, the NASDAQ spot, then you could only trade at 3:30 when the trading day opens. The futures go around the clock. Anyone not know what I'm talking about? Google it. What spot and what futures? What's the difference? Give you some sort of reply there. Start that question mentioning on. Is that signal someone's not already in the trade? Yeah, if it's obviously already in the trade, you ignore the signal. Yes. Okay. Let's have a quick check. WTI, I'm getting some traction here. Not much, but at least it's trying.
No, just for information, my stop loss was hit on the Dow Jones.
It's gone back up that far. It's been a big jump on the. Interesting how that's why I so strongly insist everybody has it. Shouldn't have been. You had it 300. Just pop up there now on the up. Remember, you're going short, so you'd be out on the buy. Did it do that? Shouldn't have done. You should still be. You said it was at 33,300 on my screen. It didn't get there. Anyway, you're out. You're out. I don't understand that. Unless it was slightly lower than that. But yeah, but it just shows, like I mentioned, it's so important to have them because I was worried that might happen. It went down, touched it, and had a retracement. See how far before it comes off. I'm not on board anymore, but I made a handsome profit, so okay. If it bounces up a bit more, I might take it to get down again, but we'll see. I'm more interested in the NAS because that's still open. I'm still open on that, and I want that to come off now. At least some pullback there, so we'll see what happens. Okay. The EJ mini June contract on what? What June contract on what? But these are CFDs. They're not futures as in contracts. It's not like March, June, September, December closeout. These are all CFDs. So you know, much better that way because you used to confuse the hell out of people saying we had to release it by law. Beware today, the third Thursday every third month is futures closeout day. And everyone says, what does that mean? It takes time and trouble to explain it. It's hectic. We don't have that problem anymore. So don't worry about that. We're not doing it. These are futures like they go around the clock, like the NAS, etc. They're CFDs. They're not futures contracts on exchange. They're over the counter. That's why we've got over the counter derivatives license, which a lot of people don't. You need that license. It costs a lot of money for over the counter derivatives because they're over the counter, not an exchange. So you have to make sure you've got liquidity to pay out on people, basically. So that's better for all. So don't worry about that. Trade them as normal, round the clock, except for shares. and then close the weekends. Okay. Hope all good with that, Macmillan?
Yeah, we good. Thank you very much.
Okay, good mate. Thanks. Right. I can't think of anything else at the moment. Don't forget, I'm on leave next week. Clinton's taking over. I'll take my laptop down. I'm going to South Carolina. I'll take my laptop with. But as I say, if we're a bit tired in replying, I don't mind replying. I'm maybe or what. I might be out and about doing something or driving around somewhere, what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, I'm not a problem with that. You can look and check it out. If I'm not in front of the computer, I always keep my router with me. I can just check it wherever I am, except when I'm asleep at night. Quick check on the price on the phone and give some idea on that if required. But basically, I'll be on leave and back on the following Monday, 22nd, isn't it? 15th, 16th, 23rd, 22nd, whatever that Monday is. Anyway. Okay, just so you know. Okay, any questions? We had Gina, new lady in here. Are you good? She left now. She left. What a pity. Okay. A lot of people have left, I think. But yeah. Any questions, guys? Don't feel left out. Mandla, are you good? Buckley, are you good? I'll try to, I'll do my bloody best. That's fine, Paul. Any questions? If it's in the blue, you're probably quite happy, all your trades, but the main thing, any questions, Buckley, don't worry, always ask, okay? But like Macmillan has, seems to be happy. Thank you very much, Ken. That's a very nice thing to say, yeah.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah.
Yes. Roger, I've been holding on the Euro GBP from 2 weeks ago, from the signals that we got from 2 weeks ago. And then I see now, is it a right time now? Because it's been going against me. And then I'm overdrawn, but I can see now it seems as if it may turn bullish. And then what's your advice on that? Can I take a bullish?
Okay, well, no, don't go in again. I would say if you're in, you're holding on. You should be stopped out, I would have thought. But if you haven't, you're in. That's fair enough. It seems to be doing okay, but it's still here. Got a bit of resistance. It's still now from technical damage. It's been there a few days. You can see that was in the buy area, went to neutral. Now it's in the sell area, and it's got a bit of resistance there. So if you're in, if you want to hold, you got to stop. That's up to you. But I certainly wouldn't be buying it there. As the GBP is weakening, and I think the euro will at some stage go above that. But I'm not advising a buy on it. I want this to be taken out. I want it to go up. I want it to come back down again, and I want it to bounce off that area there. Then I would look to maybe buy it, stop loss down here, and TP up there somewhere. But I wouldn't be buying it here now. No, it's still in the sell area, and it's still got a resistance there, and it could have a pullback here. That's only what 16 pips away. So if you're in, yeah, hold it as long as you got your stop loss in to protect you, but don't add to it. No.
Okay, no, understood. No, thank you so much for advice, Roger. Thank you.
Pleasure. Good stuff. That's good stuff. Oh, you have to go, Pete. Okay, Buckley there. Thank you. You're good. Okay, Paul. I was just getting used to you. So you miss next week. Yeah, I'll be back the following week. So that's very kind of you. Thank you. Where's Ashley? That's right. Here's a question. No, Ashley left to do something on his own, some business idea he's got. I haven't really been in touch with him, to be honest. So, but he left a few months ago. That's why I'm doing it every day. We used to take it in turns, you know. So I haven't really kept in touch. Don't quite know what he's up to at the moment. A second.
Sorry, Roger, I have a question.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, you got a question? That's fine. Yeah, go for it. Hello?
Hello? Yes, can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah.
Okay, so I was about to ask, I hear people talking about signals. How can I be able to receive that on my phone?
Okay. Right. I'll just put my details down there.
Okay.
If you've got 2.5, I don't know if you've got what account you got, dollar or right. Just give me a second. I'll type this out first of all. Most you got it.
Okay.
Just give me a second. I'll pull up my details here.
All right.
I spelled WhatsApp wrong, but you know what it means. Yeah. Now, if you've got $150 or 2,500 rand or more on your account, I'll upload you to my Q2 WhatsApp group. Then you get daily updates, and you'll get signals posted there, etc. And with the entry and all the rest of it, if you're going to be using your phone. The reason why is you want a little bit more. It's not a hell of a lot, a bit more, so you can take all the signals. Unfortunately, the guy's got smaller than that. There's no point in sending any more signals. They haven't got money to take them, even if they wanted them. It's like trying to shop for a brand new Merc when you've only got about 50K, wasting your time because you can't buy the Merc. So if you can, and you can up it, and it's your own, not just to be a member of the group, which will help you, it's in your own interest, because if you've got small funds, you have to have, by definition, all your eggs in one basket. You ask any investment person, anybody in the business, so the first thing you do is diversify. You don't want to be exposed entirely into one instrument, all your eggs in one basket. But you've got no choice. You haven't got the funds. And trying to trade with small funds, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. You're wasting your time. It's not going to happen for you. You don't have the ammunition, basically. Remember, this is international, not billion, but $1 trillion market. The euro dollar, there's contract value over $1 trillion a day. That's just one instrument alone. And you're trying to fight it with about, 10, 20, 30, $40 or something. I mean, it's like going up with a pea shooter against a cannon. You get the point. So you need to get it funded, and you need the equipment. You need the knowledge. Knowledge again, that's great. But equipment is a phone. It's just you need a laptop, and you need decent Wi-Fi, and you need internet connection. And quite frankly, it's a business. You need capital. I mean, it's just simple business acumen. You need that. So if you can get the bucks, don't say you borrow, steal it, or whatever. But if you can get the bucks, get in there. And you got my number now, and let me know and I can assist, because I'm going to be. That's why I'm not doing afternoon session when I come back, because I'm going to be concentrating on clients. Quite frankly, got properly funded accounts, because it's worth the company money paying me to spend my time with it. It's not worth a guy who got 400 or 500 rand in. The kind of brokerage you get out of that doesn't pay for 10 seconds of my time. It's not worth it. I'm trying to be honest, but it should be common sense. It's like me driving out to see you to sell you a candy bar. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? So you'll get them sent out on the MT5 platform on the laptop, some of the signal on there, but you really need to have a funded account, get a laptop, and then you've got the tools to do the job. So don't try and become an electrician or a mechanic with a glass spanner. You need the tools. You know what I'm saying? Hope that makes sense, Macmillan.
Yep. Yes, it does make sense. So in terms of funded accounts, which prop firm do you recommend that one use, or maybe any? Okay.
What program? Say again. What's the question?
So in terms of funded accounts, which prop firm do you recommend?
Which prop term? I can't hear you. What?
Which firm do you recommend?
What do you mean, which firm to recommend? I'm not quite with you. What do you mean, what firm to recommend? I'm sorry, don't know what you're talking about. If this is a broker, so obviously, if you're talking about the broker, obviously going to recommend my broker, or somebody else's. Do you want me to recommend another broker to you now? Because is that what you're asking, or am I missing something here?
Sorry, Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, can you move along, please? What's the question? Do you want me to recommend another broker to you?
No.
You said something about a firm. What firm? This is time taking. That's why I'm being put onto other things, because it's too time consuming. I need to know what you're talking about, but what firm? What do you mean? I need clarity.
Okay, so you were talking about funded accounts. So I was
Yeah.
asking if there is any funded account that maybe that you recommend, or maybe we can still.
No, I'm talking quick trade. Quick trade.
Oh.
You need to fund your
Okay.
account. I don't know how much you got in your
Okay.
account, but if you've
Okay.
got, put the number on there, my number on there. So if you've got a funded account,
Okay.
like minimum $150 or 2,500 rand, whichever account you got, let me know, WhatsApp me, and I'll upload you to my QT WhatsApp group. So you will get the signals with the details of entry, etc., and morning updates. But you need to fund the account. I don't know what your funds are. If you've got a few grand in there, let me know and I'll update you. If you've got a few hundred, I can't, because you haven't got enough funds to actually do all the signals. You know what I mean? So I don't know what you get me. And everyone says, what
Yes,
should I
I
fund
do.
with? I would say, what do you want to make? The minimum or the maximum? You say, I want to make the maximum, then you need to fund with the maximum. If you want to make the minimum, fund it with the minimum. People need to employ a little bit of common sense in this. You know what I'm saying? You can't start saying, I want to empty the swimming pool with a teaspoon. You can, but it's going to take you a few years to get there. Understand?
Yeah, it does make sense. It does make sense.
Yeah. Because
Thank you very much, Roger.
Thank you. A pleasure. Glad you interacted. I'm trying to get that through to people to get the concept. If you let nothing in, you get nothing out. It seems to people are batting to get this. I don't know what they're trying to achieve by going against a cannon with a pea shooter, but the odds are not in their favor. Yeah. And it's frustrating, As I said, one guy, his margin calls, had about 150 clear his margin calls, and take his business elsewhere. What business, number one? And, why you're going to make your problems their problems now? You know what I'm saying? A lot of companies won't, I'll tell you right, a lot of them cost are higher to try and prevent tiny accounts. You know what I'm saying? It's just pure business.
Yeah, thank you very much. I completely understand now.
Okay, good stuff. Just needs to be pointed out. It's not being harsh, it's pointed out. It makes sense if you think about it. Okay, well, anyway, going back to Mundell, at least it's starting to try to move up. You might get a bit of noise here. I don't know what price you got in, but you might get a bit of noise here. But if you can break through there, happy days for you. Just keep your fingers crossed. Okay, let's have a look. Just quick recap before we close off. What's happened to AUD CAD? That's that one we've stuck in for 2 weeks. I might shorten it, maybe. Is that range trade driving me insane? But anyway, what else? We've got CHF JPY. Pull back a little bit, but it's still in profit. But that's the market for you. 15 minute. I bet that's the market might pop up again. What else? GBP CHF. It's breaking through. Good stuff. It's breaking around figure. That's good stuff. Gold is hovering, but at least it's back up to entry. That's fine. If you didn't get the gold, at least you got another chance to do it. Don't double up, like I say.
Yes, where are we taking gold, mate? To 2050s.
1850. Listen to it. Sorry, mate. 2050. 1850. So not go down there. We've got a problem. 2050.
I'm actually in on gold.
Say again. Sorry.
I'm actually in on gold. I entered around 2016 there.
Okay, well, fine. Hey, 2016. What a pleasure. Well bloody done. That's another point, guys. If you see a trade come out at 2020 and you like it and you want to go long, the price is below that, you grab it because you're getting a better price. Don't forget. So that's great. Got a better price. Well done. So that's fine. If you missed it or you're out or whatever and you want to enter, I'm still happy with it. Okay. So there we are. That might come right. The NAS, anything happened with sodding NAS? That's in the 15 minutes. Is the Dow still recovering, or is it starting to come off again? Coming off. Don't know, it got stopped out at 335. A bit of a pity, it's coming off again. Anyway, so be it, that happened. Mentioned that. WTI. WTI. It's the guys who took that one. At least that seems to be getting some traction there. We got in about the 30-odd mark. So that's getting some traction, so that's fine. So closing up, obviously I'll be doing tomorrow morning, then I'm off. But bottom line is at least they seem to be okay. That's the bottom line, so that's fine. Okay, guys, any other question before we close up for tonight?
Sorry, Roger.
Go for it.
Yes, sorry, Roger. Yes, and on your WhatsApp group that you normally give us here, where we can just maybe liaise with you in terms of assistance with trading and stuff like that. And then I've tried that, and then I've seen that it's only admin that is allowed to post
Yeah.
anything, to write anything in that particular.
No. Only admin. Only I and Jack can actually post on there. Nobody else can. So if you want to interact anyway, you'd have to send me a WhatsApp. There's a very good reason for that. If everyone can post on there, you end up talking about the football scores. It's been tried in the past, and the trade signal gets lost in all the chit chats. So it's not a forum; it's just an information area which you can respond to if you got the number and you say, well, blah blah blah, and then you respond. In other words, you can contact me on WhatsApp if you need any assistance on trading, basically. Yeah. Bearing that in mind, on trading. If you want to open another account, ask your account manager. If you have any problem with logging in, you go to live chat technical support. If you've got any problem with Stock Market College, you go to live chat Stock Market College. I can't answer on Stock Market College. I can point you there if you ask me, but I can't. It's a separate company. It's not my business. It's their business. You get the idea. Okay.
Okay. No, I understand, Roger. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. Absolute pleasure, man. Let's keep in touch, mate. That's what I'm for. Yeah. And I'll be concentrating more going into next week when I get back, not the week after, people like yourself who were, doing the job. Okay, good stuff. Without going any further. Right, doing a pound 8 a.m. Is there something come out tomorrow 8 a.m.? Let's have a quick check on my calendar. Just get the stuff out of the way. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Business, GDP is coming at 8 o'clock. You can try that. You can try that if you like. 8 o'clock, so you can try that if you want. On the GDP, what do you want to do? GDP, maybe USD? Maybe try that. What's the dollar doing now? I'm holding at 102 to be fair. Not quite sure which one to recommend. GDP, AUD, NZD. Let's have a quick look for you. GDP on the GBP. What's happening there? Just trying to get something in particular. It's fairly weak against Canadian. That might be an idea. Maybe GBP CHF might be a better bet. It's fairly weak against the Swiss franc. On the 50-minute here. It's fairly weak against the Swiss franc. Maybe that one. What's about the GBP USD? Or do NZD? Do the lot. All right. GBP NZD, GBP USD. Maybe try that one if you want to do that, Marnie. Maybe this one if you want to do that straddle tomorrow. Okay. Or maybe JPY. Straddle on the pound. Yeah, just maybe the Swiss franc. There you are. That or JPY. I'm not quite sure. There you are. Toss the decision back in your court. One or the other. There you are. Pleasure. Yeah, mind just keep in touch with me, hey, like I mentioned, going into when I come back, because I know you're trying to take this seriously and you're probably upping the funds quite a bit. And then if you do that, clearly you'll get much more of my time spent with you. I'll be spending more time in the afternoon with people like that, okay? So just keep in touch with me on that. WhatsApp me private, not on the bloody public one, clearly. And Mandela and people like that, okay?
Yeah, Roger, last question, Roger. Is it a good idea to hold on to a trade where you are overdrawn? Maybe you remove the stop loss or you adjust the stop loss because you can see that the market or the price is about to hit your stop loss. Is it a good idea to do that, or the good idea is just to cut your losses? Cut your loss, maybe re-enter, then re-enter. Yes.
Okay, I'll ask Ken to answer that. But better still, I'll ask Ken to answer that question. What do you think? How would you respond to that question? It's about to be stopped out. So you think it's a good idea to modify your stop away to increase the risk, or do you think just to accept and suffer the loss? What do you think you would advise him on that one, Ken? Or anybody? Marius.
Yeah, mate, I didn't get the question.
Mandla just asked, he says, I've got my stop loss, let's say here, it's looked like my stop loss about to be triggered. Do I just suffer the loss, or do I modify my stop loss away so I don't get my stop loss triggered? How would you respond to a question like that, Ken? Would you move your stop loss away, or would you just accept you hit your stop loss and that's what the stop loss basically is?
It is dangerous, very dangerous to move your stop loss away. Remember, there is risk and reward. So once you put your stop loss, I don't think it's a good idea to move it away, because now you will be losing more than you have budgeted for. Risk and reward is very important in trading, you see.
You get that, Mandla? It's vital, not very important, it's vital, it's spot on. Yeah. What's the point of having a risk calculator if you're going to move your stop away? There's no point having calculated it. Just, in fact, don't bother putting a stop in, just jump in and hope for the best. No, that's the way people will blow their account. No, you've got to accept it. That's why I have a stop loss. It's called stopping the loss, not increasing the loss, stopping the loss. And that's what happens. That's why the majority of people, unfortunately, blow their accounts. They hold on to their losses, their profits. So every time they see a profit, they grab it. Every time they see a loss, they hold on, hoping it's going to come right, until they're 50, 60% over it. They blow their account.
And mate, normally where we put the stop loss, normally it's where the market changes direction also. You see.
Good point. Did
you hear that? That could be another problem. Good
point. Did you hear that? There's a reason that stop loss is not a thumb suck. It's a reason for it. It's like you're in the 4th floor and you put your stop just below the ceiling on the 3rd floor. It's there for a reason, because if it breaks the 3rd floor, it could go to the floor of the 3rd floor. So what you're doing then is saying, I want to lose more money, and that's why I'll cut my winning trade as quickly as possible, and then I want to lose more money, so I'll modify my stop away. It sounds crazy when you put it that way, but that's what people do. And I plead them not to do that. There are going to be times where it does bounce, and that loss turns into a profit if you do it. But more times than not, I've seen it almost daily. And I've tried to tell them they're not listening, and they blow the accounts. People have blown some big accounts doing that. Trading, look what happened to NASDAQ several months ago or whatever. People getting in when the NASDAQ up about 15,000, no stop loss, because it was doing so well in COVID. Hope it's going to bounce, hope it's going to bounce. Entire accounts have been blown by that. This is a dangerous car to drive if you don't drive it properly. The Lamborghini is a magnificent motor car. In the wrong hands, it's a dangerous motor car. Please work out your position calculator, and you can accept you're going to take a loss, and hopefully you'll make it up on the others. Like the Dow, you made 300 or 400 if you modified your stop. Yes, you do, but to decrease risk and increase profit, not increase risk and decrease profit. Obviously not. And that's what people do. And that's what I'm trying to maintain, trying to get the idea. When they're trading, try and run with the profit. Modify, sure, but run with it, not just grab it, because it's psychologically, it's a bit of blue, I'll grab it, and just hold on, and I mustn't modify my stop, but I get stopped out. In the end, you'll just blow your account. That's not the way to do it. And it's not the signal's fault. We'll send the best we can, but I know they're not all going to win. Nobody does. We get 2 out of 3 winners, and you work on if you win 15 on one and you lose 10 on the other, you find either the winners are paying more than the losers. then you're getting proper trading strategies, and then you'll get profitable. But people underfunded, don't know, modify stocks away, and those sort of things. And then the strategies are wing and a prayer and hope and pray. And as I say, those guys nearly always blow their account. That is not how to drive the motor car. Okay.
No, thanks, thanks, Roger. Thanks, Ken, my brother. Thanks.
Pleasure. Okay, mate, thank you. I want to back up, not just me talking, the other guys as well. Marley was saying the same thing. As Macmillan says, and what you did wrong, you learned for your analysis. Well, just one word on that one, Macmillan, to be fair, it's not always your fault. The market, Fani, Ken, Marley, it can do some really strange things. So sometimes it might be, and you can analyze and learn, absolutely. There are times to say, go figure, that ain't your fault. Sometimes strange things do happen. But yeah, but other than that, yeah, I agree. And you can learn from it. Brilliant. Okay, guys, I don't mind running over time because I feel that was an exercise well spent. It's important people interact. And I feel sure Mandela cleared a few matters up there. We're on the same page. So I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Okay, guys. Cheers now. Thanks, Jay. Cheers. Good night. Better get moving. Load shedding.